Hey everyone, it's your captain speaking. It's March 10th? No, I think it's the 12th. What is it? March 12th, and it's been 10 days since the last captain's log. And a lot's been happening. A lot. And of course, we've moved into the Mercury retrograde wormhole within the portal. So things are really spiraling down into the rabbit hole now. Mercury's retrograding back towards Neptune now. It got as far as, I think, what was it, 13 degrees away? And now it's, look at that, 9 degrees with the sun on it. So the sun's been going across here. The sun's been going across. If we go back a day at a time here, you can see Mercury was out there at 13. The new moon happened right on Neptune there. So we've just come out of a new moon conjunction on Neptune, triple conjunction portal. That's big. This is a quadruple conjunction that was happening right here. Just, when was that? A few days ago? March 6th, so 6 days ago was the new moon. That's right. We're in almost the quarter moon here. So that happened, and when you're in a new moon conjunct Neptune and Mercury mega portal, super portal, like we're all in it. And it's super Neptunian and Piscean, and so it's dreamy and floaty, and yeah, are you feeling it? Are you feeling this kind of trippy energy? Are you wanting to daydream a lot and write down your dreams and practice telepathy? Because that's what I'm curious about right now. The course is starting to become a lot clearer. A lot's been going on. I'm trying to launch the course in a particular way. I'm using a particular style that I learned from this guy, Jeff Walker, trying to promote the course in a way where people get to experience basically the course. In these 3 videos that I'm sending out, you can really get a sense for the style of the course. And so that's a big project, and writing all the emails and getting all the tech together, it can take you out of the flow. being involved with lots of emails and lots of tech can be distracting from flow states. And it's been a challenge for me to do that and still find my flow. I have been mostly staying in flow, in spite of, I've hit a wall a couple times, which is very common. I think when you're at your growth edge, you come up against some kind of wall and you have to work with it, and then you move through it, and it's amazing. I've been having a lot of experiences where it's like, basically what's been happening is I've been getting a vision of the class, a vision really of my career moving forward during this Mercury-Neptune conjunction squared Jupiter, which, by the way, I've got I don't know how I'm going to use this exactly, but I have a key quotation that I want to use in the Mercury-Neptune squared Jupiter portal, and it's a line from the movie Inception, if you remember it. It was in the trailer to Inception. Christopher Nolan, his movie, and which of course is about dreams. It's about dreams within dreams, and it's super it takes you on a dream journey, that film. And Christopher Nolan is born with a Mercury-Neptune square. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's got Saturn opposite Neptune and Mercury in a T-square with it. And there's a lot that could be said about that and how it's represented in his films in so many ways. But clearly in Inception, there's lots of themes. I've actually written a blog entry about Inception. But there's this line in the movie at a certain point where this one awesome character says, he comes up to another character and says, You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. That's the line. And so this is a portal of allowing yourself to dream bigger, to find a bigger vision for your life. That's one theme I think I'm going to focus on in the class, is really inviting a visioning process. You know how a lot of times people create like a vision board? This would be a great time to do a vision board, to really do a big one with, well, we'll talk about it. You know, you can have a vision that goes out for one lunar cycle. You can have a vision for a season. You can have a vision for a whole year. And then you can have a Mars vision for 2 years. And there's a kind of Jupiter crossroads at 3 years, right? And anyway, you can have these visions that are anchored in the cycles of time. And what is my point here? What am I talking about? It's late at night. I've just come from, I took another trip to the ocean to do some photography and filming. That's my medicine right now, and I've decided that that's going to be one of the things I focus on developing and visioning for this Mercury-Neptune portal. But I'm realizing more that it's a Mercury-Neptune Conjunction Portal, where you're really visioning the whole cycle for the year as Mercury squares Neptune and then opposes Neptune and then does the closing square and then the next conjunction about this time next year. So we're in the portal, we're having experiences of Mercury-Neptune, we're developing, because it's so long, you can actually develop a lot of Mercury-Neptune, how should I put it? There are certain themes and potentials of Mercury-Neptune, and you can align with one or more of them. Probably can't do all of the possibilities for Mercury-Neptune, so you choose which ones do you want to kind of align with and focus on. And for me, there's a few. I'm going to give some options for the class. One is, one that I'm working on with my bird Lola, is psychic telepathic communion with an animal friend. It could be a pet, but it could also be like trying to make telepathic contact with some animal in your environment that you run into. It's amazing when that can happen out in nature, where you just, like today, the last couple times I went to the beach, there were hawks, red-tailed hawks, right at the Pacific coast there, and there's a spot where they just hover, and they're hunting in a field that's right below, and they hang out there a lot. So the last 2 times I went and I filmed this one hawk. I don't know if it's the same one, but it was like, just how it was moving, how still it was. It was like, it felt like I could almost become the hawk. That's what I'm talking about. Mercury-Neptune is great for this. It's great for telepathic experience, group mind experience. And so I'm going to invite the class to consider doing some telepathy experiments, and this may be focusing on animal communication. I'm going to have people watch this movie called The Animal Communicator. It's an amazing film about a woman who can, clearly from the film, have telepathic contact with animals, birds, big cats. And so I'm in Mercury-Neptune territory now. I'm kind of floating downstream. I'm not sure where I started here. I know I had a point at the beginning. Oh, I think it was back where I was saying that trying to stay in a flow state while still dealing with tech and emails, it's a kind of life challenge for me. And yet I really trust that there's a kind of flow to my days, to my weeks, where there's a moment for different things to kind of naturally go into the flow. So I try to do that with things like email and the tech. There's certain parts of the day where I'm more, I don't know, in the right space to do the tech stuff and to do the emails. But I know I'm devoting a lot of time to my own psycho-spiritual practices. in the morning. I get up pretty early, and I'm devoting a good amount of time, like an hour or two each day, to really start the day in a heightened frequency state. And that's really where I find flow. As I kind of raise my frequency, I find my flow. So, where are we? Now, 10 minutes in, I'll go a little bit more here. So the course is developing. I'm kind of clear that I'm kind of doing two different classes, and probably it's possible in the future that they'll be separated, but in this class they're going to be together. And basically one is going to be a kind of guided portal experience, the Mercury-Neptune Portal. I'll be your guide, I'll be your captain, and there'll be suggestions like, really dive into telepathy. Okay, read about it, understand it, practice it. And I'll give you some ways of doing that. I'm going to give you the potential for having a telepathy buddy who you intentionally set up times for telepathy experiments and practices. We're going to do a lot of watching the sky, I hope. It'll be optional, but I hope that people will go out and actually watch some of these alignments. Get up early for Mercury-Neptune rising, for example. It's possible to see Mercury, I think, when it's at its full retrograde, close to the start of class. You can get up early, watch the Mercury-Neptune conjunction rise. I've rarely, if ever, seen Mercury because it's hard to catch it. But I'm hoping some of us will catch it in the class. So there'll be that. There'll be like kind of suggested outings to watch particular alignments. And then there'll be these different options like go into telepathy, go into photography and filmmaking, go into automatic writing or more journaling, develop, what's another one we're going to do? Keeping a dream log. Oh, studying metaphysics. Like really getting into, just getting into it, wanting to understand it and learn metaphysics and then do practices from metaphysics. This could be the study of magic. It could be the study of Eastern religions. It could be the study of reading books that have been channeled or watching some films by channelers. I'm going to have suggestions along all these lines. And you're going to be able to choose your kind of side quests for the portal. And so I'm seeing that there's kind of going to be this tarot training class. And alongside of it, we're going to be exploring the Mercury-Neptune portal and talking about portaling generally. And there's going to be other portals. Like we're going to be able to set them up. Okay, there's about 2 weeks away. We got the Sun-Uranus portal opening up. And we'll talk about what kinds of things can you do to honor a Sun-Uranus portal. So, things are getting clearer. And things are... Oh, compromise pops out. Compromise pops out. Interesting. What do I make of that? I don't know what to make of that yet. So I'm going to inquire into what does that have to do with anything? I'm not sure. Compromise. Compromise. Trying to put my iPad over here. Conversation about compromises. It's like, for me right now, it's like I don't want to compromise this way of living that has to do with trying to stay in flow, kind of catching the natural waves of consciousness. There's a kind of, in flow, there's a kind of energy efficiency. Like there's not wasted energy in a real flow state. It's like you flow and you do things efficiently at the right time. And this is where astrology really can help. You get a sense of there's certain opportunities in certain portals to focus on certain possible timelines, basically. You enter into a portal and all these timelines open up. And I don't want to compromise that. I don't want to miss out on any portals of potential. That's how I feel about that card. Okay, we're running a little late with this portal update. It's been a little while, though. I haven't done one in a while. So, background of trust. See, compromise versus trust. Trusting in the way of things, trusting in the flow, trusting that things get done in their own time, as opposed to making a compromise around living that way. I want to live in a trusting flow. I don't want to compromise that anymore. Do you? I don't want to do that anymore. Compromise or trust? I choose trust and harmony. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is the Page of Cups, and this is the Ten of Cups. They're right next to each other. Goes 10, then Page, then Knight. Wow. Trust right next to the Dolphin allies, and the third eye opened, and the heart chakra opened. That's good. I don't want to compromise my potential to run into dolphins. I want to run into dolphins. I run into dolphins when I'm in flow. It's the truth, because dolphins are in flow. They're the best examples of living in flow. They're one of them. Ooh, here's the Knight of Swords in the environment. This is the environment position. It's like compromise, trust, harmony. I don't know. Lately, I've been thinking of this fighting knight. I often have a hard time with this person because he has this rageful face. He looks really kind of, wow, rageful. And this in the background, you got two people at each other's throats. It's a hard one. But lately, I've been feeling like I like having this protective force that wants to fight for me. This is like the fighter in me, the one that just wants to fight to protect myself, to protect what I love, to advocate for parts of me. This person is like really upset and wants to fight and advocate for maybe some unmet needs or to keep me safe. I'm a pacifist. I don't believe in violence. I'm with Dalai Lama on that. But in a kind of archetypal sense, in an imaginal sense, in an inner work kind of sense, getting in touch with this being is helpful. And we're going to wrap up. Oh, look, right next to the Knight comes the King of Swords. The King of Swords with the Knight, they're allies. They go together. They're fighting to protect the harmony of things. That's what I think. See, once you find trust and flow, you need these, the King and Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords. You need them all to be kind of fighting for you and protecting you, and the kind of internal strength that comes from these ones. Like, I feel this part of me that's just like fighting to have a life that's balanced and in flow. And it kind of sticks up for me, and it fights for me to do certain things, like making the intention when it's possible to get to the ocean to take some photographs and film at sunset. It's really good medicine for me right now. Okay, we're going to go to bed. That's the update. Oh, look at that. Inner trust. Trust and trust. Oh, I needed to see this before bed. That's nice. Double trust. Is that an ice cream flavor? Double trust with chocolate chips. Leadership. Step into your leadership. Share your message. Inspire and empower others. That's what I'm trying to do. Look at that. Northern Lights. I hope I get to see the Northern Lights someday. How many of you have seen the Northern Lights? That's a blessing. I've never seen them. One last card. The fairy deck wants to be seen. I know, fairies. You can be seen before bed. Here we go. What fairy's going to say goodnight? What fairy's going to say goodnight? Woo! It's going to be this one. Oh, the Star Fairy! Woo! That's good. This is a good conclusion for your update. This is your captain speaking. Star date, March 12th, 2019. We're closing in on it. April Fool's Day is not too far away. This is Tuesday going into Wednesday. It's 3 weeks from yesterday. So 3 weeks. I don't know how often I'm going to get back to this. It's busy time, but I like doing this. So I hope you're enjoying these captain's logs. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.